Okay, welcome everyone. It's going to be the update for the week ending on April 3rd of 2020. What I want to talk about today is I want to show a little bit and get a little bit more in depth on the daily setups because I've been getting a lot of questions about the daily setups. But before we do that, let's take a look at our week. Now, there was a couple days I didn't trade this week. I didn't trade Wednesday night. And I didn't trade Thursday night. Wednesday night, I was not available for the evening chat. And then on Thursdays, we focused a lot on the crystal ball strategy. So I did a lot of training. And so I don't like trading, particularly the crystal ball, if I'm going to be doing a lot of training. So that was our focus. So I didn't do any personal trading that night as well. So there's a couple nights I didn't trade, but the overall results still pretty good for the week. Now, one of the things that I did this week is these markets have been kind of shaky. You can see that in some of the results down here on the naked stats. But what I had decided to do is I was focusing mainly on the Aussie US. Okay. And the reason I focused on the Aussie US is because historically it has continued to show the most consistent, high stats, as far as the naked setups are concerned. So Aussie and Euro have always been extremely high, then the US yen, and then the pound. Now, of course, if you look at these numbers, you'll see, well, wouldn't it have been better to trade the US and the yen this week? Well, the answer is, well, yeah, but that's hindsight. I didn't know that going into it, right? All I can do is look at what historically has been the case. And but also at the same time, that's not necessarily a disadvantage because even though the stats were lower, over here on the Aussie and the US, because I was focused on it, I was really able to maximize my money management approach. What I teach in the core strategy on the way that I adjust my contract sizes. And that's what ended up giving me a nice week, is my ability to be able to adjust contract size based on my approach to the way that I adjust my contract size. So that is always going to be a big plus when it comes to trading these short-term binaries. But the other thing that's very interesting is the daily setups, and I'm not going to get into too much detail on the daily setups. If you're interested in knowing more about the daily setups, you need to get on my weekly email. I do send a weekly updated email where I show these stats, I share some charts, but also there's a link there where you can see the results. Going back all the way to last year on what the dailies have done, and then what have they done real time starting from January 1st up to the present, because prior to January, it was only in testing. I wanted to test these patterns, this exact same patterns that I teach in the core strategy that I use for the 5 minutes, just applying the same patterns to the daily binaries. And the results are pretty impressive. And what you'll see is how well it does just on a single contract basis. Now, the thing is at this point, I'm only 3 months into it. I really think that adjusting contract size is going to be important as well with the dailies. But what's impressive is the results that I'm able to get just doing single contracts and not having to do any adjustments on size. But once again, I'm only 4 months into it. I need more data in order to make that determination. Do I just stick with one, or do I adjust size as I go? The other thing is, are there some pairs that are better than others at this point? Yes, and also there are some patterns that are better on the dailies, than others. And that's actually in the report. So in order to see that, you need to go to my website, binaryprostrategies.com, shoot me an email, and I'll get you on the list so you can be updated on a weekly basis. All right. Also, if you're interested in learning about my strategy. These results are all based off of the core strategy. My core strategy package does not include the crystal ball. Crystal balls are reserved for Thursday nights. I'm not showing any crystal ball results. These are all based off the core strategy. All the results that you see does come in the core package. Also with the core package, I also provide you with the daily setups, and that goes out every night. You put them on at night, and you get out the following day, and you let them expire. So the beauty of these patterns is once you get in to a particular position, whether you're buying or selling it, you let them expire. You don't have to worry about stops. You don't have to worry about getting out early. You don't have to worry about, any of those things. It's very simple. You put it on and you let it expire, and that's it, and that's what the results will show. So you want to get a hold of that report. Also, if you'd like to watch a little bit closer, if you go to Instagram, Pro Strategies, you'll also see every day that I do post. I post an example chart, and I'll show you how I did for the day with the percentages. So you can do it that way if you like to follow a little bit closer along. All right, so moving forward, going into next week, I'm probably going to continue to stay with the Aussie US. I'm probably going to start moving a little bit more over into the US yen. I am probably not going to do a lot in the Euro US, even though it's my favorite. But the Aussie and the Euro have been very similar in the way that they move. So I want to split that up a little bit. I'm going to stick with the Aussie, and I'm going to throw in some yen too. Now, if things start getting weaker in the U.S. yen, you'll find me sticking with just the Aussie US. But the Aussie US going to continue to be my focus. I know I can do well just sticking with one, and I'm staying away from the euro. I'm staying with the pound. Even though overall you would have been able to make money, it's just that I think it's better when you go into uncertain times like we are right now, is to pull back. And is that the right decision? Only hindsight will tell you that. But for me, pulling back I think is safe. I can still make a decent return and sticking with one pair, and so that's what I'm going to do. And that I share that with our members, and if you are a member, I'll let you know what my focus is going into the day, what I'll be looking at. Also, if you would like to, if you're not interested in purchasing the package, maybe you want to see before you buy, you can also, I do provide a trial membership where all you have to do is sign up for the trial membership, and you'll have access to the charts that I share with my students. There is going to be some limitations there. You're only going to see one of the patterns, which is the pattern I'm showing here, the PAP. And also you will have access to the daily setup. So if you do the trial, you're going to get access to the charts with the setups. You'll see them via the little arrows. And the other thing is you also have access to the nightly daily setups. I come on every night, and I get you updated for the following day. So you put them on at night, and you let them expire the following day. That does come with the trial membership. So if that's what you're interested in, that's great. Understand it is trial, so disclosure of how the patterns work is not going to be discussed. I will not be in that room, all day. I am in the room with the main chat room, but I do stop in from time to time to make sure that everybody kind of understands the setups and so forth, and that's all explained once you join the trial membership. Okay, so that's going to be it for this week. Kind of looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. I noticed things started to seem to be getting a little bit back to normal. The strike spreads right now, the spread on the strikes are still pretty large. I don't like that. So I'd like to see them come back in. When's that going to happen? It's anybody's guess, but they are quite large. So you've got to be a little bit more careful and a little bit more selective in the trades you're putting on. That's another reason why I'm sticking with the Aussie US. But that eventually is going to come back. We're going to see these strikes start to narrow eventually, and we'll be back to normal action. But right now, be cautious. If you are a trader in binaries, be cautious, be selective, and do know that this will eventually, all this craziness will come to an end, and things will be come back to normal here. hopefully within the next 30 days. We'll see if that happens. Okay, it just depends on kind of what's going on with this virus and everything, and are they going to start opening businesses and things going to get back to normal a little bit. That's going to calm the market down. So everybody have a great week. Any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. You can always go to my website. If you like these videos, please give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe so I can keep you updated on any new videos that I send out. Besides that, everybody have a great trading week, and we will talk to you next week with the next weekly update. Take care.